So we are arts and health charity, Rosetta Life. We've been delivering projects with communities for the last sort of 25 years. Our work actually began in the hospice movement. And about 10 years ago, we developed a programme it was co-designed with a community of people living with the effects of stroke and brain injury at the National Hospital for Neuroscience and Neurology, funded by the Arts Council and the Wellcome Trust. And we are part of the SHAPER programme, which is the world's largest research project into the scaling up and impact of arts in health. So it's a 12-week performance programme where the group work together across 12 sessions with artists, and at the end present or perform something. So a few months ago, we worked with Accelerate CIC at St Joseph's Hospice over 12 sessions. And what I'm going to show you is the outcome of those 12 sessions. I will share that with you now. Let me have a look. Here we go. So the performance piece is called The Wishing Well. We worked with a composer and 2 dance artists, and everything within the piece was developed, designed, written by the participants themselves. Let's see if I can. And do let me know if you can hear, maybe give me a thumbs up if you can hear it okay and it's streaming properly.
Once upon a time, a family moved into a house.
Can you all hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
An old house. And this family had moved around 8 times in the past 7 years. And the old house that they moved into now was an old doctor's surgery. And the young boy that lived with his family decided to go on a bit of an exploration and took himself off into the cellar. Once arriving in the cellar, he stumbled across really old, ancient sort of tools, medical tools. And there was this stack of hexagon-shaped bottles in a stack, dark emerald green. And the boy took it upon himself to look throughout the cellar, find loads of different ingredients to concoct a potion, thinking that maybe he'd find a potion that would make him feel well, would help him to feel well for the rest of his life, or even to give him superpowers. Unfortunately, the boy is still there, and he's still mixing up ingredients, still trying to find the right formula for that. Let the journey begin.
I'm a traveler. Come travel with me.
Mum was very organised in everything that she did, and a year before she passed, she decided that she was going to plan her own funeral. So when it came to her finally passing away, all we needed to do was do the things that she asked. But unfortunately, during the time of COVID, you were only allowed 10 people to the grave. But because Mum was buried in a park, she could have as many people as she liked. The other thing that Mum did before she passed was she gave me a red Bible. So it's in the driver's door of my car. It's my mum's Bible. So she's always with me. I am the daughter.
tiger.
This boy, he was a dreamer. Although he was in a group of friends, he was always the lonely guy. And when he was going there, his chain came off. Everybody had left. So ostensibly, he was on his own. There was a tiger sitting on the road, warming himself on the tarmac. And the fact was that at the end of the day, you know for a fact that if a tiger is a man-eater, he will attack you. But there are very few of them around. So he was there, and I was concerned, obviously. But eventually, and it seems like ages and ages and ages, he got up and walked into the forest. And although nobody saw it, they did believe the fact that it did happen. Where you yourself sometimes dream about it. There is no contact as such. But the beauty of an animal like that is self-evident. The colors are beautiful oranges and browns and blacks. His eyes can be green or red, depending on the type of tiger. Not so much the viciousness of a tiger that might actually occur, but all the good parts of it. Tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What immortal hand or beast shaped thy fearful symmetry? This boy, he was a dreamer.
Once upon a time, I knew this little girl. I met her down at the seaside one day, and her little dog, she was crossing a bridge with a little dog, but the bridge broke and the dog stayed the other side, and she was reading and crying. She loved the dog. It was a little Yorkshire Terrier. And she said, please, I want my dog back. I want my dog. And cried. And we got a hold of this rope. And she tied it to a tree, and we held it the other side. And she walked across, and she held these two lights we were using to shine the light of the nighttime. And she walked across, and she grabbed the dog, and she cuddled it, and she said, I remember the dog's name now. Who was named Ritzy, and she said, please, I thought you were going to die over here by yourself. Her name was Jane. That is always in the back of my mind because it reminds me of my mum, and it reminds me of Ireland.
Life is still a tightrope act. Walking is a dangerous act. While finding balance, while carrying lanterns of fire.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy, and he had a very kind grandmother who lived in a very small village. She promised him that she'd grant him one wish. And she told him to close his eyes. And when he opened his eyes again, he was in this very colourful world. and there was a nice smell of baked cakes, and he found himself standing on top of a mountain of whipped cream. He took some of the whipped cream in his hand and ate it, but that was all he ate. And after 10 minutes, he was back with his grandmother again. There once was a boy who had a brother. His mother used to always buy him second-hand clothes. They were sometimes third and fourth-hand clothes. And the only thing that he ever had that gave him any expression was his own shoes, because he had slightly bigger feet than his brother, who was 18 months older than him. That set in his mind a thought that when I get older, I'm not only going to get involved in shoes, I'm going to make my very own shoes. Nobody's going to choose my shoes for me. I'm going to make my own. And that's what he did. He became a shoemaker. Wow, it fits. When I took the role of a carer, I lost my career as a shoemaker. I thought I lost my creativity, but I found new ways to be creative. Now I'm flying inside new shoes I thought I discarded. Creativity never leaves you. You have to work really hard to hold on to it, and it reappears in a new form. Back of the heel. Front of the shoe.
Right, I'll leave it there just because I saw the notice pop up that we just have a few minutes left. So I introduced the film just before screening it, but I think many people joined during the screening. So just to explain a little bit about us and the film, we are Rosetta Life. We're an arts and health charity. And for this particular project, we were commissioned by Accelerate CIC, and we ran a programme over 12 weeks, 12 workshop sessions at St Joseph's Hospice led by 2 movement artists. A composer also worked on the project, and at the end of the 12 weeks, following 12 sessions of movement, singing, there's some singing at the end of the film, storytelling, sharing personal stories, we then presented to a live audience at Rich Mix on the Bethnal Green Road. And Chantal is here from Accelerate, who commissioned the work. Is there anything you wanted to add, Chantal, about this program?
Yeah, just that that it was an amazing time, really, watching these individuals with lower limb issues, mainly lymphedema, and not having any confidence, any real movement in their lower limbs, and feeling really kind of really restricted at times. That all the group have really gelled and have now kind of formed a social group as well as Rosetta Life, and the group are now going on to become ambassadors, which means it's going to be a tour. There's going to be loads of things going on now with this group of individuals who, well, have joined a wellness program as well, which I've built, and watching them grow over many weeks for, you know, individuals who wouldn't leave the house, and then to obviously see them on stage moving so well and kind of singing and acting and dancing, it was a real joy, and it's been a really great kind of joining up of souls, I think. So yeah, I'm just really overwhelmed with the patients and what they've achieved. They've been absolutely amazing. So thank you, Rosetta Life.
And Chris is here, who made the film. Chris, is there anything you want to add about the?
Yes, this is gonna have an accessible link shortly. You'll all be able to view it in slightly less buffered circumstances. Sometimes presenting these things online is often a challenge with streaming and bandwidth, as you could just detect there. We'd love you to get the link if you can. We'll make sure you find the link in whatever correspondence comes out to you in relationship to this day conference. And I have to repeat, it was a huge pleasure working with this lymphedema group. They really took to it, and amazingly found agency and voice and a professional performance in a professionally lit and set up theatre at Rich Mix. So it was just a great privilege to see it. Thank you, Accelerate, St. Joseph's Hospice. Thank you.
Yeah, and we are Rosetta Life, and you can find many of our films on our website, which is rosettalife.org.
Have a good day, everybody.
Can I say it was absolutely moving?